This situation that he put me in, you know, make me lose. But he thought I was gonna lose.
You talking about like a boxing match or?
Yeah, boxing.
Who, if you don't mind? If you don't want to, it's fine.
On February 24th, 2025, Floyd Mayweather Jr. celebrated his 48th birthday, a milestone that sparked an outpouring of well wishes from fans, celebrities, and fellow boxers across social media. But among all the birthday messages, one post stood out, not for its kindness, but for the tension it carried. It came from none other than Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Since then, things have only heated up, with talks of a potential fight and Tank opening up about the real reason he parted ways with Mayweather Promotion.
Y'all gonna stop listening, old boy? Now he done came out and put his young homie in his drawers on his...
Gervonta "Tank" Davis, the former Mayweather Promotions fighter once considered Floyd's potential successor, shared a training video with a caption that read, "Life is better when you're gone, and I don't need you." It wasn't just the words, but the timing, posted right on Mayweather's birthday, that caught everyone's attention. People quickly speculated that the message was aimed at the man who once managed his career. This post adds another chapter to their long-running public feud, which now seems poised to reach its climax in the ring.
For y'all career. I mean, y'all.
No, it was a
relationship, not
downfall.
career.
Yeah,
Relationship.
it wasn't a downfall of my career. I mean, my our relationship, because it was more things that he was doing. Like,
he scheduled a fight, I think.
The tension between Mayweather and Davis has been obvious for a while. Their fallout was messy and public, beginning in 2022 when Davis left Mayweather Promotions after years of building up to be Floyd's next big star. But things started to unravel as Davis wanted more control over his career. The rift grew in 2023 when Davis revealed he'd been banned from Mayweather's gym while training for his fight against Ryan Garcia. The situation worsened when Davis accused Mayweather of mishandling financial issues related to a Dubai event, claiming he was kept in the dark about important details. With rumors of personal conflicts and ongoing disagreements, the tension only grew, and neither of them was willing to back down.
he's not gonna hurt me. You know what I mean? So it's good to be with him than be cool with him, because he can do some crazy stuff. He'll picture him bad.
Mayweather, known for never letting criticism go unanswered, hit back at Davis's birthday post in his signature style. He shared an old sparring video featuring Davis and Devin Haney. Many saw this as an attempt to downplay Davis' skills while also reminding everyone of Mayweather's role in Tank's rise. For some fans, it seemed like a calculated move by Floyd to assert his dominance, a way of saying, "I made you." Others viewed it as unnecessary petty behavior, especially since Davis had already proven himself with major wins, like his knockout over Ryan Garcia. No matter how it was seen, one thing was clear: this wasn't just a simple fallout between a former promoter and his fighter, it was personal.
He was telling me to stay calm. I always like to listen to Floyd when it comes to big stages like this, because he's the only one that been in my shoes and been like in these type of fights. You know what I mean? So I always try to stay close to Floyd.
Davis, never one to hold back, has continued to speak out about his issues with Mayweather. In a recent interview with the Mr. J. Hill Network, he made a shocking revelation about the early days of his career, particularly his first world title fight against Jose Pedroza. Davis claimed that Mayweather purposely set him up to lose that fight. According to Davis, it wasn't about giving him a chance, it was about controlling his career and keeping him in line. He described the Pedroza fight as a lose-lose situation, alleging that Floyd expected him to fail. "I was in a lose-lose situation, and I still came out on top. It was a situation he put me in to make me lose. He thought I was going to lose to Pedroza," Davis stated.
I remember first hearing an issue between Floyd and Gervonta before Gervonta fought Pedroza. And the issue I heard was that Floyd didn't want Gervonta to stay in Baltimore because he felt there was too many distractions for him in Baltimore, and he wanted to stay in Vegas.
Davis added another layer to the story, bringing Mayweather's personal life into the mix. He claimed that the reason Mayweather wanted him to lose had nothing to do with business, but everything to do with Floyd's daughter. You might remember Ryan Garcia mentioning that Tank's split with Mayweather had something to do with her, and it turns out that's exactly what Davis was referring to. According to Davis, Mayweather's daughter had been trying to reach out to him, saying she kept hitting him up on Snapchat. Davis suggested that Mayweather, known for being protective of his family and controlling, was uncomfortable with the idea of Davis being involved with his daughter. He saw the Pedrosa fight as a chance to humble Davis. If these claims are true, it would mean one of the biggest fights of Davis's career was influenced by personal jealousy rather than business concerns.
Saying that I was messing with his daughter off of the fact that she kept Snapchatting.
Okay.
She kept hitting me on the Snapchat. So they sent it to Floyd, and Floyd bugged out.
Okay.
The drama continued to unfold as Davis revealed even more about his situation leading up to the Pedrosa fight. He shared that at the time, he was struggling financially and even facing eviction from his home. According to Davis, Mayweather used his financial struggles as leverage, essentially forcing him to take the fight or risk being sidelined for good. Davis quoted Mayweather as saying, "If you don't fight him, you're not fighting, you're sitting on the shelf." This paints a picture of a young fighter who felt backed into a corner, with no real choice but to accept a high-risk fight under intense pressure from his own promoter. Yet, despite all these challenges, Davis won the fight in dominating fashion, proving he was ready for the big stage, no matter what Mayweather's intentions were. For years, the tension between Mayweather and Davis has been building, with every new interview or social media post only making their feud more intense. Many thought their relationship would never recover, but now it looks like they're headed toward the only logical resolution, settling things in the ring. Even though Mayweather is retired, he's never ruled out exhibition fights, and his recent responses to Davis suggest he still has something to prove. On the other hand, Davis has made it clear that he no longer respects Mayweather the way he once did. What started as a mentor-mentee relationship has turned into a full-on rivalry, and it seems neither man will be satisfied until they face off in the ring.
Nobody would do business with you if you act like this.
But it happens a lot in boxing, though, right?
Oh yeah, because
it seems to
it's
be common in
strategic.
boxing. Yeah.
Floyd was telling him all these things.
Floyd's given this counsel to
Yes.
Gervonta.
Who do you think is telling him to do the rehydration clauses?
The idea of Mayweather fighting Davis once seemed unthinkable. Floyd was the mentor, the businessman, the retired legend with nothing left to prove. But over time, the lines between exhibition fights and real matches have blurred. Mayweather has continued to step into the ring for high-profile exhibitions, including his recent rematch with John Gotti III, and he still trains like he's an active fighter. On the other hand, Davis remains one of the most dangerous active fighters in the sport, with knockout power and an undefeated record. The gap between them isn't as wide as it once was, at least not in the eyes of the public. Mayweather is still the legend, but Davis is the future, and he knows it.
I got you. Got you, baby. Boy, what's going on? Boy, what's going on, boy?
It's no longer just about money or bragging rights, it's about control. Mayweather has spent his entire career being the one in charge, calling the shots and making fighters bend to his will. Meanwhile, Davis has fought to carve his own path, rejecting Mayweather's influence along the way. If this fight happens, it won't just be about skill, it'll be about legacy. Mayweather will be fighting to remind the world that he's still the master, that no matter what Davis achieves, he'll always be in Floyd's shadow. Davis, on the other hand, will be fighting to prove he's surpassed his former mentor and doesn't need Mayweather's approval to be great.
So this is your last fight with Mayweather Promotions?
Yes, sir.
Tank announced that he's leaving Mayweather Promotions. What do you have to say about his departure?
My focus, honestly.
The fight itself would be a fascinating spectacle. Even at 48, Mayweather still boasts some of the best defensive skills in boxing history, while Davis has the kind of knockout power that can end a fight in an instant. It would be a clash of styles, but more than that, it would be a battle of egos. Both men have spent years taking shots at each other verbally, and now they have the chance to settle it in the ring. Their relationship has been over for a while, but Davis is finally letting the world in on the real reasons why things fell apart.
Say, man, look, man. Your beef is not with Floyd Mayweather. You sitting here beefing with Floyd. It's a fighter out here that's been calling your name.
What began as a dream come true for Davis, training under one of the greatest boxers of all time, eventually turned into a harsh lesson in how the business side of boxing can be just as ruthless as the fights themselves. On the Mr. J. Hill podcast, Davis spoke in a way that made it clear he wasn't just venting. He was exposing a system that keeps fighters dependent, controlled, and, in many cases, financially trapped. His words didn't just highlight Mayweather as a flawed mentor, but as someone who carefully controlled how much power and freedom his fighters could have. The money, the opportunities, even personal relationships, it was all part of a system designed to keep Mayweather in charge.
There's no reason for me to go at Floyd. Floyd don't never. He felt as though I'm at that point where as though I passed him.
And I'm doing it at a young age. Wait, like when Floyd was 29, you'll see, bro. Yeah.
One of the most revealing things Davis shared was about the financial help he received early in his career. According to him, Mayweather would offer small sums of money, $10K or $15,000, just enough to keep things going, but never enough to provide real security. Davis saw this as a way of keeping him reliant, rather than empowering him to become truly independent. This stood in sharp contrast to what many people assume about Mayweather, who built his career by breaking free from promoters and calling his own shots. The irony is clear: Mayweather made sure no one owned him, but Davis felt like he was never given the same freedom under Mayweather Promotions.
And invest in real estate so that we can live that same great life when our careers are over. So I guess that he took it as, I guess he's the only one that wears Chrome Heart. He's the only one that wears Gucci. He's the only one that wears Louis Vuitton. He's the only one that drives a Mercedes. And last time
What makes this situation even more interesting is that Mayweather Promotions has been unusually quiet in 2025. With Richard Schaefer taking over as CEO, many expected the company to make major moves, especially considering how strong boxing has been this year. But instead, there have been no big fights, no new stars, and no major headlines for a company once seen as a serious promotional force. This noticeable decline raises a big question: has Mayweather lost interest in running a promotional company, or has his past way of doing business finally caught up with him?
Another thing I want to touch on is the Floyd situation. You know, Floyd is Floyd. That's like I say, Tank is Tank, man. But at the end of the day, you know, the man is chasing greatness, and you should be supporting that. And I always.
Davis also made it clear that his fallout with Mayweather wasn't just about business, it was personal. He spoke about realizing that the person he once idolized wasn't who he thought he was. That kind of disappointment goes beyond contracts or money, it's about trust. Davis saw Mayweather as someone who would genuinely help him, but over time, he felt like everything came with strings attached. Even other fighters in the boxing world took notice. According to Davis, he would talk to his peers, warning them about what was really going on behind the scenes and advising them not to fall into the same cycle. This part of the story is particularly interesting because it suggests that Mayweather's way of handling fighters wasn't a secret, it was just something nobody had openly talked about before.
That probably was like $100 grand.
Right.
He bought me a lot. He bought me a car. He got me in the house. He did a lot. He did a lot before I even.
There's also the question of whether this fallout has impacted Davis's career in any way. The numbers suggest it hasn't. In fact, he's become an even bigger star since leaving Mayweather Promotions, proving he never really needed that backing to begin with. This alone challenges the narrative Mayweather tried to push for years, that he was the key to his fighters' success. If anything, Davis is living proof that sometimes stepping away from a big-name promoter can actually be the best move for a fighter's career. One last thing to consider is whether other fighters will start coming forward with similar stories. Davis was the biggest star under Mayweather Promotions, but he wasn't the only one. If other former fighters begin to speak out about their own experiences, it could seriously damage the company's reputation. Right now, the damage is limited to Davis's personal experience, but if a pattern emerges, it could force people to take a closer look at how Mayweather ran his business.
Hey, what's your thought on Tank and Floyd going back and forth?
I let two grown men handle their business, but they know whose side I'm on if we gotta go there, though.
At this point, Davis has moved on. He's a top star, making more money than ever, and doing it on his own terms. But his words carry significant weight, highlighting a bigger issue in boxing: how power is controlled, how money is distributed, and how some fighters are kept in check by the very people who are supposed to help them. Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather Jr. celebrated his 48th birthday in typical grand style. The week-long celebration, reportedly costing $5 million, was a testament to Mayweather's love for luxury. The festivities, which took place from February 17th to 24th in Miami Beach, included a series of lavish events designed to indulge and entertain.
Yo, them people over in Dubai that money. Tell them get on live right now. And he owe people in Saudi Arabia money too.
Attendees at Mayweather's birthday celebration were treated to a series of extravagant events, including beach parties, ATV tours, roller skating sessions, bowling nights, and exclusive gatherings on luxury yachts and at mansions. One notable event even took place at the former Versace mansion. This lavish display not only highlighted Mayweather's continued wealth but also emphasized his desire to stay in the public eye, reinforcing his brand as The Money. In stark contrast to Mayweather's celebratory indulgence, Gervonta Davis has been navigating a more introspective path, filled with candid revelations. In a recent interview, Davis opened up about his complicated relationship with his former mentor up close.
I've made so many sacrifices. Y'all looking at the end. Y'all looking at the end results. Y'all not looking at the shit where y'all gonna look at the interview and Zab gonna tell y'all, you know, with me being champion, with me already.
This sentiment highlights a common theme in professional sports, where the idolization of figures often leads to disappointment when fans or mentees see the reality behind the curtain. Davis also touched on the personal tensions that may have deepened the rift between him and Mayweather. While Mayweather continues to enjoy the spotlight of his past success and current luxuries, his promotional company, Mayweather Promotions, has been notably quiet in 2025. Despite Richard Schaefer being appointed as the new CEO, the company has yet to announce any major events or promotions this year. This silence is especially noticeable given the current surge in boxing's popularity. The reasons for this inactivity remain unclear, but it certainly raises questions about the company's direction and Mayweather's level of involvement in its day-to-day operations.
We on? Yeah. We on. I want everybody to follow him on all his social media platforms. Follow my guy, future world champion.
All Mayweather has been doing lately is talking, and in a move that sparked plenty of discussions within the boxing community, he recently named Terence Crawford as the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world. This endorsement is particularly interesting, considering Mayweather's history of promoting his own protégés. By recognizing Crawford's accomplishments as a four-weight world champion with an undefeated 41-0 record, Mayweather's praise suggests a possible shift in his perspective on the current boxing scene. It also raises questions about how he views other top contenders and what he thinks about the future of the sport.
Like some confusion, is Tank a Mayweather Promotions fighter still? Is he not? What is his his involvement with Mayweather Promotions, or is it just all still PBC, Al Heyman?
Yeah, Tank is not signed to Mayweather Promotions.
Okay. Got
He's not signed to Mayweather Promotions. His contract ran out,
yeah,
and that's fine. But as I always say, contracts don't define.
Gervonta Davis, on the other hand, continues to rise in his career, boasting an impressive record of 30-0. He's become a major figure in boxing, with significant victories and a growing fan base. His upcoming fight against Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st is highly anticipated, with many seeing it as another chance for Davis to solidify his legacy. Interestingly, Davis had initially announced plans to retire in 2025 but has since reconsidered, suggesting a potential break from the sport instead of a permanent exit. This shift in his plans reflects an evolving mindset and perhaps a desire to further cement his dominance in the boxing world.
I seen Tank, man, when Tank first got with Floyd, we had the same exact record. And I seen Tank knock out guys that Floyd had a hard time in sparring with. You know what I'm saying? So, this guy's the truth.
Clip 22. The dynamic between Davis and Mayweather presents a captivating story about mentorship, ambition, and the complexities of personal and professional relationships. Their contrasting approaches, Mayweather's indulgence in luxury and Davis's focus on personal growth and career advancement, highlight the divergent paths that protégés and mentors can take. As both continue on their respective journeys, the boxing world watches closely, eager to see how this story will unfold. When examining the broader implications of their relationship, it's clear that the challenges arise when personal and professional worlds collide. The mentor-protégé dynamic is inherently complex, often filled with expectations, aspirations, and the natural desire for independence. Davis's candid reflections on his time with Mayweather highlight the potential pitfalls of such relationships, particularly when personal grievances and professional ambitions overlap. Additionally, Mayweather's continued focus on a lavish lifestyle stands in stark contrast to Davis's more grounded approach. This difference brings up important questions about what defines success in the world of professional boxing. While Mayweather's wealth and flamboyance have become central to his brand, Davis's story is centered around resilience, personal growth, and his desire to carve out his own path.
Can't even see who it is. Yeah. Who is the dude? Who is the dude?
And that right there.
At the end of the day, this whole situation between Mayweather and Davis isn't just about boxing, it's personal. Mayweather's still living that high life, throwing million-dollar birthday parties and making sure everyone knows he's still the money. Meanwhile, Davis is out here trying to carve his own lane, keeping his circle small, and focusing on what really matters, his career and legacy.
What they mean?
Love limit. I don't like Floyd, motherfucker.
No, you don't. EJ, you the trash truck.
But let's be real, this heat isn't over. Mayweather can pretend he's moved on, but his actions say otherwise. Whether it's downplaying Davis's success, hyping up Terence Crawford, or staying quiet on big fights in 2025, it's clear he's still watching. And Davis? He's got bigger things to focus on, like proving he's the best in the game, even if that means knocking down his former mentor in the ring. What do you think? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates.